Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. I am covering the tragedy out of Moscow, Idaho. 4 college students brutally stabbed during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. Police arrested Bryan Kohberger from Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, charged him with 4 counts of murder and burglary. Let's talk about Bryan Kohberger's professor, Katherine Ramsland. Katherine Ramsland, a professor from Desales University in Pennsylvania that taught Bryan Kohberger. She hasn't spoken since Bryan's arrest, but she did something today I want to share with you right now. Check this out. This is the Twitter account of Katherine Ramsland. She is the professor at Desales University that taught Bryan Kohberger, author of 69 books, blogger at Psychology Today, TV crime commentator, professor of forensic psychology expertise, serial killers. And she put out an interesting tweet today, 2 hours ago, and this was the first time she tweeted since December 22nd. Scrolling down her tweets, but she put this tweet out today. Accused Idaho killer studied criminology. Is there a link? And let's click on the article. And the article's titled, When a Criminology Student Turns Criminal. The man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students was pursuing a PhD in criminology. Academics in his field say it's a mistake to connect this scholarship to the brutal crime. So, to summarize here, right here, this is interesting. It's tempting to draw a connection between Kohberger's academic pursuits and the crime he's accused of committing, but experts say that neither the evidence in the case nor the nature of criminology scholarship supports that link. Studying criminology is not going to make you a criminal. It's not going to make you a better criminal, says James Allen Fox, a longtime professor of criminology at Northwestern University and the former dean of College of Criminal Justice. What we teach is how come, not how. So it says what we teach is how come, not how to commit a crime, but how come crimes are committed. Kohberger was a teaching assistant as well as a PhD student at Pullman when he arrested last month. So she shared this article. His own professor shared this article. So I think she's starting to think maybe people might be blaming her out there, or her name's being thrown. A lot of articles are out in the last couple of days about her, Katherine Ramsland, teaching Bryan Kohberger at Desales. Let me know what you think. So she tweeted. She hadn't tweeted nothing about this case. She hasn't spoken about this case publicly, but she tweeted today. And she tweeted an article basically saying that how Bryan was taught, basically she's not liable and she's not responsible for Bryan's behavior. That's more or less what she's saying by tweeting that article out, and that article saying that it's not the teaching's fault and whatnot. It's Bryan solely responsible for his own actions, not his professor. Now, this is the same professor that actually wrote a book about BTK. She wrote a book. And I also find it interesting because I made a community post earlier today about Bryan's teachings. I said, was Bryan brainwashed? And then we seen that Katherine made a tweet. So I'm wondering if she actually saw my community post. I'm sure she is watching all of us content creators that are talking about this case. What's your thoughts on Katherine Ramsland? Katherine Ramsland, do you think the professor kind of taught him a certain way where he did his thing, because of the guidance, or we could say brainwashing, or we could say programming of the professor? Or do you think Bryan is solely responsible for his own actions and his professor had nothing to do, the professor's nothing to do with this case? It'd be interesting, now I want to be like a fly on the wall, and I would love to sit inside her classroom when she was teaching Bryan, just to see, what Bryan, what she taught Bryan and the whole class. So let me know what your opinion is. Subscribe to my channel, like, hit the notification button. But the professor tweeted out for the first time today since this tragedy. I pick up on these things, right? Monitoring the entire internet, friends, families, associates of Bryan Kohberger, the victims, whenever they speak out, I go look, and then I will share with y'all. So we'll talk soon. Stay tuned. Justice for the victims and their family. God bless.